Tip top of the evening here, folks. Now, I know what a lot of people are going to ask me, why are we coming on like this? Well, I'm going to talk a little bit tonight, just randomly get into some stuff here. But, yeah, I just want to say something that I really do. You know, what an incredible football season we've had so far. And we still got a game left. Maybe two. It'd be kind of nice if we get 3 more games this year. That would just be the topper of what the season's been. Yeah, if you look at every place we've been this year, so far, and we're not done yet. We've been to South Harrison. Correction that. We started off the year at Robert C. Byrd, went to Hikesfield, which is historic in its own right. Then we went back to Byrd. Then we went back to Liberty. Then we went to Byrd again. Then we went to South Harrison. And we went to South Harrison, and then we went back to Byrd. Folks, we're going to Liberty. We're going to Liberty as far as we know this week. But we've kept you on your toes, haven't we? Yeah, this is an historic year for our football circus show. This has been historic. We have not been at the same field twice all season. So there's been no back-to-backs this year. That's never happened. We were in South Harrison about 2 weeks ago for Dodge County. Then we came back to Clarksburg for the RCB game. This week we'll be at Liberty. Who knows for tenths where we're going to be. We could be anywhere. And I mean anywhere. I'll put it to you this way. (2024) has been the most interesting year I've ever seen. One of the most interesting years I've ever seen. You wonder what 2025 is going to bring. Now, think of it this way. If we've had the most craziest football circus show in history, if we've had the most craziest football show in history, then what? I mean, and this season's not done yet. We got a bunch more scoreboards to do. We got a bunch of this. We got a bunch of that. But I will say this for the record. By the way, this is being taped. So look this up on the YouTube channel. I haven't yet figured out basically, I guess you could say, talking about things so far. Talking about things so far. And if you look at what we've done, not only, and we're not done yet with 2024. We've still got an election to go. Plus, as far as videos are concerned, we've got plenty of them still to come. We got the Clarksburg Veterans Parade. We've got Clarksburg Christmas Parade. We've got First Friday in November, first Winterfest here in the city of Clarksburg. And God knows what else. Yes, I said that. God knows. What else? Yeah, if we can ever figure out the days that they play basketball and we can ever catch a game, we will. So I said that. We'll throw that one out too. Folks, 2024 has been probably one of the greatest year that we've ever experienced. One of the craziest years we've ever experienced as a country. Shoot, as a world, we've experienced a lot. There's been a lot of experience around the world. But everywhere you look, it's always something different. Here's what I mean by that statement. Every corner of the world, there has been something different every day going on in the world. Basically, I've looked over 2025, and if that comes into play, it's scary. But there is something on the Bible videos that I've been stressing, and I will stress it here too. Folks, we need to pray. Folks, before you go to that voting booth, and I know here in West Virginia, early voting starts on the 23rd, excuse me. So that's coming up. That's coming Wednesday, I think it is. So before you even go vote, no matter where your voting precinct is, if it's at a church, as I've said before, I don't see any pastor not allowing people to stop in their sanctuary and pray anywhere in the U.S. Even if you do not attend that church, I don't think a pastor would mind if you're going in there to pray. I really don't. I just don't see it. I tell you something else. I tell you something. I just can't see any pastor not denying it. Let me pray that way. I apologize, folks. I've had some drainage issues with my nose tonight. But the reason why we're doing this video is just something to talk about. That's a good title. Something to talk about. And that's exactly what we're going to do. You can leave comments in either the YouTube or the Facebook page or the YouTube channel. But I will say this. This is kind of like an old-fashioned live to me. But you know what? Let's talk for a moment. Let's talk about things that were left in 2024 you or me would like to see. I would like to see for the first time that I can remember a straight, honest election and made the better person win. That's what I like to see. A straight, honest election. But here's an interesting question. You think we'll get it? Really, do you think that we'll get it? To tell you the truth, I don't. I think, and this is just my personal opinion, I think if it goes one way, someone's going to scream. And if it goes the other way, someone else is going to scream. What an historic year this is going to be. What an historic election that this is going to be. Think of it that way. Not only are we talking a little bit about politics, we started off the thing with football, but, if you look at all the things that we've done this year, I mean, everybody has a way of looking at things. Mine's very, very straightforward. Plus, I look at things at a different angle as well. We try as Americans, and we try as a country, we try as a world to follow what we follow. And the more that the more that people look at life, it's going to be more interesting to see where we go next. And I truly mean that. I'll say that again. It's going to be interesting where we go next. Because we don't know where we're going. To be honest. Basically it's like this. I see all kinds of crazy stuff here on Facebook. I see crazy stuff on Facebook, and I see crazy stuff on YouTube. Yeah, it can go both ways. Especially the way I like it. Especially the way it is. But did you know? And this is something I'm just throwing out there, discretionary. I never dreamed that I'd ever get into podcasts. Listening to podcasts. But I have this year. Not throwing that many out, but not going to throw any out for general purposes. But, podcasts, if you're into that kind of thing, I mean, I am. I really like it. They're kind of funny. And they're kind of serious too, if you really look at it. I was reading an article here recently about. I was reading an article here recently, and I want to get this out. That life sometimes can be a real pain. Life sometimes can be a real discretionary. Do you know they say by the end of 2025, by the end of next year, it might be also your phones at homes, not so much at businesses, but at home more than a ground line. That's their estimation. But you know what? It is quite interesting enough that we have to put up, we have to put up with a lot of different things. But you know, it's an interesting point, and I do want to stress a little bit on this. If you wanted to call somebody, you called them at their home. And if you were out, a payphone was the groundwork for what we're doing now on a cell phone. Yes, and if you look around, there are still payphones out there. Not as much as you might think, but if you know where to look, there are still some payphones out there. And believe it or not, a lot of things on a payphone. You know, sometimes we have to look at technology. And look how far it's evolved. Like I said, look this up on the YouTube channel. It's just, let's talk. And I'll put it to you this way. There's a lot of things to talk about. We've talked about football. We've talked about the election. We've talked about technology. You know, another thing that I want to talk about real fast is music. And I've noticed a trend here. I know it's a real big trend, especially in the younger generation, that they're more into the 80s. They're more into the 90s. Especially a lot of the kids are into the 80s that I've seen. And that, to me, is amazing. That should tell some of these newer groups. I mean, I'm not saying there's not good songs out there in the 2000 to 2024 range. I'm not saying that. There is. There is. I mean, there is some terrific songs out there. Indiana Jones by Wade, for example. Going back several years for that. Going back to 2019 for that one. It's all about that bass. And remember when that came out? That's a good song. Trying to think. Just give me a few minutes to get this. Going back to the 90s. Just for a moment. Cannot think of the name of the group now. Going back to the 90s here, look at all the crazy stuff Britney Spears pulled off. Look at all the stuff that Boyz II Men, and I give it to NSYNC, because they did a remake of an old Christopher Cross tune called Sailing. Sorry for the discretionary, but we're not going to play that here. But Sailing is also a 1980 song done by Christopher Cross. 80s, we could go through that. We could do a whole Let's Talk on just 80s tunes alone. But I will name a few. You Shook Me All Night Long by AC/DC. Weird Al Yankovic, Fat. And that was a remake of Michael. That was a kind of making fun of Michael Jackson's Bad. I'm gonna go ahead and mention that while we have it on our mind. And if you go back to the 70s, where could we even begin? The three that pop in, the four that pop in my mind right off the bat is Hotel California by the Eagles, Stairway to Heaven by Led Zeppelin, Freebird by Lynyrd Skynyrd, and believe it or not, You Light Up My Life by Debbie Boone. Yeah, we could do a whole subject on that, but that's just how sometimes it really goes. You go back to the 60s real quick, might as well do that. You got Wipeout, Secret Agent Man, Surfing USA, and by the way, Surfing USA is Beach Boys, Wipeout is Safaris, and I don't remember who did Secret Agent Man, and I apologize. That kind of escaped me for a moment. But I'll put it to you this way. Sometimes, like I said, I don't apologize. My nose has been crazy. But like I was saying, sometimes we, as people, have to understand what certain things are. Like right now, for example, I'm watching Gunsmoke. And on, we'll bring it up here. Give me a few minutes. It takes a little bit. On Inspiration on INSP. Please check your local listings for games. Wait a minute. Please check local listings for discretionary. I'm going to do something here tonight that I normally would not do. But we're going to see something here real quick. If we can get to it. Alright, we have a Monday Night Football game. It's the Baltimore Ravens and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. See if we can get the score. It's over on ESPN2, and they're in commercial. What else is new? And ESPN's got a NFL, but let's see what this really is. I just want to see something. They got the same game on. They got the same game on both channels. There's something you don't see too often. Dual action. There, go check that game out. As soon as they come back from commercial, folks, either way, we'll get you a score. And like I said before, it is quite interesting enough that, hey, gotta have a little football in this. Going back to our football thing. But, I just thought, while we're waiting for a score here, I like to throw something out. And this comes from one of the podcasts that I was talking about earlier. I was listening to a certain podcast, and they were talking about retro. Now, somewhat of discretionary here. And I got a score here. Baltimore Ravens on top of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. 20-10, and we got $12.20 left to go in the third quarter of that game. Once again, your score: the Baltimore Ravens 20, Tampa Bay Buccaneers 10. And that's in the third quarter right now on ESPN and also ESPN2. Don't ask. I have no idea. But due to discretionary reasons, we cannot show you that um, because of FCC regulations and rules and regulations on that. But we can tell you the score. That we can do. That is something that we normally wouldn't do, but we do it occasionally. Also, just for the heck of it, Nick at Night's on right now with Friends, so if you want to turn to watch that. And if you notice a pattern here, sometimes we have to have certain discretionaries on how we do everything. Everybody Loves Raymond. That's an hour-long special. And Kings and Queens at 11. They're on TV Land. Let's go ahead and throw some stuff out. Three's Company's on right now on LLG, and that looks like a marathon to me. And like I mentioned earlier, Gunsmoke is currently on. And let's see, anything else? Ooh, we had a baseball game in there. Let's check out that score while we had it on. Right. It's the New York Mets at the Los Angeles Dodgers, and I believe they're just talking about the game. So basically, that's not a game. Yep, they're just talking about that. I thought it was a game. Sorry about that. But things like that happen. Oh. BBC America has got Law and Order, so if you're really into that, you can watch that too. And, whatever you're into in TV, it don't matter if you're into old shows, new shows, terrific shows, stuff like that. It's quite of an interesting little thing too. Like I said, I just mentioned a few. I know coming up on FPTV at 2200, Emergency. That's on right now as we speak. That's on FPTV. That's a good show. Also, they got the greats like Barney Miller. I know MeTV and FPTV both share Dragnet. So there's a good one. MASH. There you go. Classic show right there. Folks, just to prove a point, there's the longest running game show. One of the longest running daytime TV game shows of all time, The Price is Right. Let's go ahead and throw that out there too. But you see what we're doing? We're just going all over the place. That's the reason we'll call it Let's Talk. Because we're going all over the place tonight. You know what? A lot of things have changed. Now, not only we have the cable, but we also have, if you go on the antenna and you buy one of those little boxes, you can get all kinds of channels on that one too, believe it or not. And everything from inspirational all the way up to local channels, all the way up to westerns, you name it, it's out there. I'm going to go ahead and throw this out while I have it on my mind, because the cooler temperatures are starting to come, and it's becoming the holidays. As I was mentioning earlier, I mentioned this once before, and I'm just throwing it out there. Because I heard this on a podcast, and I checked it out, and they were right. Lake Shear Energy. There's something to get into. Just mentioning that. But Lakeshore Energy is what I'm thinking on right now, so I'm just going with that. You know, this is the 50th anniversary for those. So, what this one podcast I was listening to said, people ought to go out and buy a tan, a beige, a suntan, and also buy a sheer black, an off-white or something like that, sheer tights or a regular hose, just for the record. That's the way we're gonna word it for general purposes. And as we wear both of them sometime this year. And that would be pretty cool, just to get more women to just wear one pair sometime this year. Or both pairs if you really feel up to it. But I'll leave that up to you, and that's the way that's maybe that's who you are. Maybe, but you know, there is something I said on YouTube, and I don't mind repeating myself, but I want to say it a little bit differently. In the past 50 years, most women have worn Lakeshore Energy at one point or another in their lifetime. Now, we're just not discretionary. We're not really putting all the performance on that. We're just kind of throwing it out there. Here's another thing we're going to throw out there while we have this throwing out going. While we have this throwing out going. Rachel Ray's got something. Rachel Ray meals in 30 minutes. In a minute. We're going to see if that's the old 30-minute meals on that. We'll give you a channel here right now, so we've got it on mind. If you want to watch that, that's on FYI TV. Also, well, that's not exactly what we want, but like I said, Emergency's on right now, and Adam's 12 at 2300, 11 o'clock. 2300 we had for the discretionary. And also right now on Boomerang, the Jetsons are on, so check out it if you like cartoons. Oh, cartoons. That's an interesting little subject we'll get into right now. You got the Jetsons, you got the Flintstones, you got the Smurfs, you got tune in with me on MeTV every Monday through Friday at 0700 hours. Please check your local listings and time for in your area, please, for that particular show. That show is so awesome. I love it myself. You know, also, one of the granddaddy shows of all time, and I'll say this, one of the granddaddy shows of all time, a show that really has stood the test of time, is the Lawrence Welk Show. That's on PBS. Please check your local listings for times and things in your area. Also, The Love Boat. I know that's on MeTV at 5 o'clock every Sunday, but that's also running 24/7. That's running 24/7 on Pluto TV. And that's another thing too I want to bring up here a little bit. Pluto TV. Swing. If it's out, Paramount Plus, if it's out there and it's live stream, that's where a good percentage of people are now going to. Shit, there's the Family Ties channel. Hell's Kitchen. I mean, it's in its, what, 23rd season? And it's in, what, its 23rd season, and now has its own channel on Pluto TV and on the Wizard TV. Also on the Wizard TV, you have Alf. Well, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. You have Alf, you have Iron Chef, the original Iron Chef from Japan. International law there. It's Tokyo, Japan, just for the record. Plus, they've been in France. I can't think. Beijing, China, just for the record. And, even here in the States, in New York City. I mean, there's another interesting show that a lot of people like to watch. I'll put it to you this way. No matter what you watch on TV or you do as a person yourself, sometimes you have to think, why? Why do you even think of things? Because some people would not argue if they had a discretionary. I know some people that would argue a discretionary of what life really is. If you're YouTube, your Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, whatever form of social media that you use, and there are several out there that's social media. Whatever form of social media you use, you notice how that's become a big influence in everybody's life. Oh yeah, it has become a staple to not only, it's become a staple to the world's culture. I mean, there are videos, they estimated that there's videos, tons of videos that go on every day on social media. I mean, this one's going on social media. But the important thing is, and in closing, I like to say this. No, so I said it. In closing. In closing, I like to say thank you. Thank you to all my Facebook friends, and thank you to my many subscribers on YouTube. Hope I get more. Like I said, this video is going to be a Let's Talk video, so look for it on Facebook and the YouTube channel. And we appreciate you, wherever you are, you're part of the world, for watching our video. And if we missed something, or you'd like to comment on anything that we've chatted on tonight, please do. I like reading comments. If you're on Facebook, you get a heart. And if you are on YouTube, you get a like. And that's going to be the way it's going to be. We want to thank everybody for watching this little video. Basically, like I said before, to look this up on the YouTube channel, it's just Let's Talk. Because I haven't done one of these for a long time. Why not? It's Jerry. And I want to thank y'all. This might become a 2 or 3 day series. We don't know yet. Haven't decided how far I want to take this. But we are going to do some other Let's Talk videos. So yeah, we're going to start this. So basically, yeah, it's going to be kind of a new wrinkle to ours, and it's discretionary. Yeah, we have a 527 goal on YouTube. We just reached our 425 goal. Now we have a 527 goal by the end of next year. The rate we're going, we'll probably make it as we'll probably if we don't get it at the end of this year, we'll definitely get it next year. And then we'll go for the next bigger numbers. This is Jerry. Thanks for watching. Peace. Reach for peace. Aloha. We salute men and women serving around the world in our branch for U.S. military and veterans. We love you madly. Peace out. We'll talk to you all again soon.